Hey guys, I'm going to show you how to use Raid Organizer. Um, a lot of information here. It looks a lot worse than it is. It's mainly three things that are going to be difficult, I guess, it's to comprehend in the beginning. Once you play with this and watch this video, it's going to make a lot more sense and it's going to make you feel a lot more at ease. And I think people will start using this bot a whole lot more. So, real quick, we got two channels. I redid these. We have public raid. This is the main one everyone's going to be using. Guild raid's kind of it's not in place yet. I mean, it's there, but the structure isn't fully there. Later on, if people want to have more private raids, then I can start giving people roles, and they can command their own guild roles and add and remove people that they want and make their own private raids. So that's something for later on. Right now, we're just going to worry about public raids and how to set this up, make it simple. I have an example here I'm going to use. I'm going to pretend I'm in Poland, and I'm going to try and set up a raid for 4 p.m. So main thing we got to start with is, here's step one. You go to your channel, because these two channels are the only ones you can rate, you can schedule in. The bot does not work outside there. It'll give you an error. So I'm going to type it in here just because I can copy and paste it. So what we're going to do is do event create, and you can see it popped up here as I was typing. Title, you're required to have a title and you're required to have a start date. You don't actually need a time, but for what we're doing and getting everybody coordinated, in my opinion, the time is required. But let's start with the title. You can have a maximum of 60 characters, so moral of the story is keep the title short. Let's call it JS Raid for this example. JS Raid. Start time. Today is the 23rd. And it's morning time for me. It just turned 12 a.m. We're going to say date. I'm doing the wrong thing. So real quick, there is a format you have to follow. Month, day, forward number, year. And you have to separate them with dashes. You can't use slashes. You can't use periods. So we're going to do July the 23rd, 2023, space, and the time. The time is in 24-hour format, and I said I wanted to do 4 p.m. So that's 1600. Well, if it's 1600, we got to make sure we're entering the right time. Everything is being done in Raid. Everything in Raid Organizer is being done off of the coordinated universal time. So UTC, and it's all 0. We're basing it off of the baseline. And my example, I was pretending as I live in Poland, which is 2 hours ahead of the base time. So we're going to go with, we got to do a little basic math. So we're 2 hours ahead, but I need it on the 00 time, so I have to subtract 2 hours. So I said I wanted to do it 4 p.m. Well, I have to put 2 p.m. in here in order to get it on the time zone where I'm pretending I live. So we're going to say we want this at 14, and I have to use a colon to separate out my hours and minutes. We're going to say 1400, and then that completes the time. And then we're going to do, there's 2 more parts we care about, a description and the text. So let's do description. This is the body of the message. This is all the details about your raid, anything that you want to share. So we're going to keep this one short. It can be very long. This one doesn't have the same 60 character limit. This can be as long as a Discord message of like 2,000 characters. So we're going to go with come join me for a JS raid. That's good enough. Okay. And then text. This part is what gets sent in Discord, where you can use at mentions like alive, I have the Moribund Colt here because maybe later on if I decide, oh, I shouldn't say if I decide, if people actually utilize this bot more and want to do private guild raids, I have a system in place to let everybody do that. I can let you have your own guild role and you can add your own members in. Everybody can do all that independently. They don't need me to help them with it. But that's a different video. That's another time. If people like the bot and want to do private guild raids, let me know. That's something we can do later. But the text is mostly, this is the message that's going to go in Discord above your template, and it's for people to use @mentions. Maybe you want to have a protector or radiant like I have listed here. You can put that in here and it'll alert everybody that has that position, or alive, and it'll alert everybody who has the role alive. So I don't want to alert anybody for this test, so I'm just going to put do not join, this is a test. There we go. Alright, and I'm not going to worry about it, but I'll mention it. Images later on, if I ever get premium and people are utilizing this, everything's contingent on people actually enjoying this and utilizing this bot. But I can put unique images in here for, like, if you're doing JS Raid and you want a picture of, Chase Sanctum or something, I can have that as like a preloaded picture you can pick and make it look nice for your template. So for now, I'm just gonna ignore it because I don't have any of that stuff in here. We're going to cut this out, and I'm going to show you what it looks like when this is made. We're going to do, first I'm going to create a failure so you can see what happens when there's a fail. Like I said, this colon is important. If I change it to a semicolon and I hit enter, or if I change one of these dashes to a backslash, I would have the same error. So I'm going to hit enter, and it says wrong date format, and it tells you what you wrote. You put in this, and your time. You have a semicolon here. That's why it failed. This is what I expected you to use. Okay, it needs to be a colon. So now you know that you have to change that. The problem with that is you might have to type out a big long description. So it's very important to either cut and paste all the stuff you wrote with, click on it and do Alt A and highlight and then cut before you hit enter. If you're not familiar with the formats, if you're starting out, it's probably good if you have a long message, so you don't have to do this a couple times in case you messed up. We're gonna hit enter because this thing's ready to go, and then here's the little template. It looks small, but there's nothing really to it because I don't have much of a body of a description, and I have a tiny little title. And this is all interactable. You can say, all right, you can pick up to 5 roles. I'm a Forsaker, so I'm gonna put Forsaker on there. I like Protector. I'm gonna pretend that I'm gonna play 2 at once. So I'm gonna take 2 roles. Or maybe I'm holding a spot for somebody who's not on this Discord, and we have a tank that's outside the Discord server, and I'm gonna make a note and have that person's spot saved. So you can do that if you want to. And then this right here is the thread. You can see it opened up here. I can click on this, or I can click on this because it automatically puts you in here. And I could say the protector is so and so. Who cares? It's a placeholder. You could do whatever you want. This is for you to have your conversations and coordinate your raid and not have it in here, because maybe eventually there's more people doing more raids at once. This will be nice to keep your conversations in an organized spot. You can mark yourself down as a maybe. Oh, by the way, you can have up to 5. You can take 5 of these roles, but people probably won't use that many. Like I said, placeholders or your multi-logging. The question mark here, if you're not sure you're going to make it, but you want to get notified, pick whatever job you're going to bring. You can also click it and take it off too. You click it again to remove yourself. And if I also took myself off of this role, it took me out of that room, that chat room. Since I was taken out. Since I'm the owner of the server, I can go anywhere I want, so I could see I was removed. If I want back in, I just click a job, and then I'm back in. You can cancel everything you've put in here. Sorry, let's back to the maybe. um, Raid Organizer will send you a notice 2 hours before a raid starts. So that way you can have a heads up in case you forgot, oh, I forgot there was a raid this weekend or whatever. You'll get a notice 2 hours ahead of time so you can get back and log in. If you decide you can't for whatever reason make it and you had multiple things selected, you can click on each one individually, or you can just hit this big X and it'll just remove everything that you've put up here. And I mean that's the main thing here. This is the one that was here earlier that Mayushin made for the Voxion raid. This one's already closed. It's done and gone. If I click on a role here, I get an error message. Event is closed. You can't sign up. So it lets you know that it's done. This thing's automatically deleted a day after it's finished. There's no end time to this, so I think it deletes it on a 24-hour cycle. So it's going to base it off of probably at the end of today, because this is the 23rd. So at midnight or 11:59 or something, it'll probably delete. Anyway, this gets removed a day later. Maybe it's, yeah, never mind. After one day, it gets deleted, along with the thread and all the conversations associated with it. So back here, remember earlier I was saying I was trying to make this for 16, I think I said 4 p.m., so 1600. Well, my time zone is not Poland. That's not where I live. So I'm going to move myself to Poland. So I'm on Pacific Standard Time, which is why I see 7 a.m. So if I say that I live in Poland, which it says +1, that's not actually true. Poland is +2 currently on their UTC time. 4 p.m. So this is dynamic. This is unique to every single person. So wherever you live in the world, this thing is dynamic, and it's going to be accurate for you, so everybody's able to coordinate. So don't overthink it. If you see a time here and it works for you, sign up. If it doesn't, just skip it or create your own, whatever you want to do. There's also forum-like discussion. There's this polls that I made here. You can tell me what window of time works for you, and then everybody can, I can see who signed up for what times or what days you like rating. This will probably be a little more helpful. This is something I have to edit because I've changed the time zone. This isn't really relevant. I've learned a bit more about this bot, so the main thing is knowing I'll probably change this to UTC 0 time, and that way everything is a little more understood. So this poll might get closed down, and I'll make a new one with the correct time zone so it's not confusing. But this video ran way longer than I thought, but there is actually a lot of information, and if people aren't used to it, I think it's better to make it more detailed. Watch this, get a clear understanding of how it works, and then if you have any questions for me, let me know. And hopefully we start using this bot more. I think it's really helpful. Alright guys, take care.